two-page questions.
Okay.
Swamiji, if Swamiji can start with an opening prayer, then we will start the
Okay.
question.
Okay. Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu. Sahano bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karavavahai. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Thursday
Yeah.
morning climber.
Hari Om, Swamiji. Should I start
Hari
with
Om.
the first question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the first question is from Suresh. He sent it actually 6 weeks ago, actually. So
Yes.
the analogy of a crystal and the upadhi came up related to how the crystal takes on the properties of the upadhi and then may take it as its own. Recognizing you can only take analogies so far, I still had the following doubt. The question was asked as to what the crystal itself represents. I know in several discourses it is noted that the crystal represents awareness or consciousness, but I was wondering if it is more precise to regard the crystal as the body, mind, intellect complex. If we look at the crystal as awareness, then are we not making it an object that can take on different properties? And is the crystal not limited by time and space? When I look at the crystal as the BMI complex, then I can see this can take on the properties of the upadhis that are close by. I was thinking that the true awareness or consciousness is not the crystal, but the very light that is ever present and without which I would never be able to even see the crystal. That very light allows me to experience the crystal in its pure form without the upadhi or the crystal veiled by the upadhi. That light makes every experience possible. Similarly, Brahman awareness makes every experience possible for this BMI of mine. I was hoping Swamiji could help clarify this doubt for me as to what the crystal truly represents in this analogy, awareness itself or the BMI complex.
Hari Om. Suresh, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes.
I am Swamiji.
Suresh, you see, when we take one example, we have to just stick to that one aspect, whichever that um, comparison is made. For example, in this case of crystal example, we have to just take that aspect of colorlessness. Crystal is colorless, but in the presence of a cloth, it becomes colorful. Say, for example, red cloth. Now the crystal becomes red. Now, this colorless crystal appears red. Now the question is, did colorless crystal become red or it appears red? So the answer is, colorless crystal did not become red crystal. It only appears as red crystal. There is a difference between becoming and appearing. This is the most important point here. So in this example, colorless crystal did not become colorful crystal. It only appears as colorful crystal. This is the point which we are trying to drive. In the same way, consciousness, which is actually Paramatma, this consciousness did not become Jivatma. Consciousness only appears as Jivatma. So even when consciousness appears as Jivatma, it is actually Paramatma only. It is only a wrong notion. Suppose, you see, I am a human being. Now I have this wrong notion that I am a rat. So am I a rat or a human being? I continue to remain a human being only, even though my wrong notion says that I am a rat. Just because I have a wrong notion doesn't mean that I have become that. But I may appear to be that, I may feel myself to be that. This is the whole point which we are trying to drive. Nothing has become, it is only an appearance. So only that aspect has to be taken. Is that clear, Sureshji?
It is, Swamiji. I think I was extending it too much. So this makes sense, Swamiji. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Swamiji, the next question is from
Ah,
Prithvi Sego. Prithviji, are you available? Do you see the name?
I don't
Prithviji is there?
know. Maybe we can go.
Yeah, we can go to the next one. Maybe Hem Sharma.
Sure. Yeah.
Hem Sharma ji, are you available? Okay. Let's go to where I know. I'll ask you a question. Satish Muluk. Swamiji, it is from Satish. We have learned that the Vedas have a large Karmakanda section and a small Gnanakanda section because many people are not ready to make moksha their goal. Those people benefit from Karmakanda as a gateway into dharmic living and eventually to self-inquiry. But as I look at Bharat and the Indian diaspora, it seems that many people remain tied to religious rituals and don't progress to a point where they seek gnana. I think this issue has created a significant misunderstanding as to what our religion is really trying to accomplish. This was also a big factor causing Buddha to leave Hinduism and develop a new religion. My questions: should our ancient masters have offered more clarity about the true purpose of religion? Number two, besides continuing our own sadhana, what should we as Chinmaya Mission members do to let others know the true meaning of our religion?
So here, the question is, most of us, we follow Karmakanda and we don't value Jnanakanda. So here we have to understand one thing. People are not coming to Jnanakanda not because they are not aware of Jnanakanda. They are not coming to Jnanakanda because they are not qualified for Jnanakanda. See, we get attracted to only that thing which we are qualified for. This is a law of this cosmos. If I'm not qualified for the higher, that higher thing will not attract me. That which I'm qualified for, that alone will attract me. Because that alone I am able to understand. You see, first comes understanding, then comes desiring, then comes working hard for it, then comes getting it. So there is a relationship between what I understand and what I get. So whatever I understand, that I will desire. What I desire, I will work hard for it. And when I work hard for it, I get it. So if a person is not desiring jnanam, it simply means that mind is not yet purified. So we don't have to blame any rishi. All the rishis knew it. That is why the Vedas contain majority in karma kanda only, because they know that in the society is like a pyramid. Grosser people are maximum. Tamasic people are maximum. Then comes Rajasic people, then comes Sattvic people. So people with extreme purity of mind, they are always rare in the society. Majority of the people are Tamasic and Rajasic people. For them, this karma kanda, this jnana kanda will not appeal to them. They have to go through this karma kanda for a long time, many births. And then when the mind becomes pure, then you don't have to give any advertisement. They will automatically get attracted because their thirst for evolution is not quenched by karma kanda. Something you are eating, but it is not giving fulfillment. Just like that, what you call that puffed, what you call that, not puffed rice,
Popcorn.
that cut,
Popcorn?
popcorn like thing. Yes, 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 yes. It is, you are going on chewing, but nothing is happening. It is a time pass. You eat, you go on eating, but still that sense of satisfaction is not coming. So in the same way, these people go to karma kanda, they go to ritual, but something from within says that no, this is not what I actually want. Somewhere that lack of fulfillment is always experienced. They are the ones who go on searching and they finally come to jnana kanda. So the world is designed in such a way that if you are qualified for a thing, you will stumble across it. And if you are not qualified for a thing, even if it comes to you, just like a cow, it will smell the diamond and walk away, saying that this is worthless. Hmm. Cow will understand only the value of grass. It will never understand the value of a diamond. So the world is designed that way that we get pulled only towards that thing which we are qualified for. So therefore, world is perfectly right. Everything is functioning absolutely well. We don't have to do anything to improve this world. World is in safe hands, in the hands of the Lord. We have to just do what we value, and whoever values this will automatically come to you. That is a law. So therefore, actually, we don't have to do anything as Chinmaya Mission members. We only have to practice whatever we have understood and live it. And wherever God has placed us, let us do whatever we can do.
That's very
Did I?
helpful, Swamiji. Thank you.
Okay.
So Hari Om Swamiji, the next question is from Archana. Archana, she's
Uh,
on the screen here.
uh,
Pranam Swamiji, thank you so much for your time as these much important satsangs help us clarify many doubts. During our weekly satsang, a thorny, sticky confusion has taken a lot of time. Some
uh,
folks state that it is okay to enjoy the life as it presents and that we should try to live at level 8.
eight.
Or high
What
level.
is
Yeah.
Oh, level 8. Okay.
what is that
At a
level
high
8?
level.
That's the highest level.
Oh, hi. To their credit, they also say that do not grieve when it is not here, but when here, live it at level 8 all the time. Some say that we have been given sense organs by God so that we must be able to enjoy in this life and be happy. But when I read Puja Gurudev's reflection on Bhagavad Gita in chapter 5, he's very clear. If we can't give up enjoyership, we have not even begun. So, here are my questions. Sorry for the long background. Without renouncing enjoyership, can we ever renounce doership? Isn't that at this early stage of sadhana, such talks of enjoy things fully would further reinforce my vasanas and derail me from my path that is already filled with the thorns of vasanas?
Hmm. Yes. Amma, in this society, you will always find such people who will say that why has God given all these pleasures if He doesn't want us to enjoy? So therefore, we should enjoy the pleasures, but in a socially acceptable way, limited way, in a right way, and all that. You see, in a way, they are right. You see, in the society, there are different types of people at different stages of evolution. Hmm. You see, lowest category of people. Okay, let me start from there. They don't mind harming others for their own selfish ends. They're the lowest kind of people. They harm others. So their actions are harmful, selfish actions. You ask them, they said, everybody is selfish. I am also selfish. What is wrong? And this is the way the world is created. They will have their own philosophy, their explanation, their logic, their argument. Next higher level are those people, they will not harm others, but they are lazy people. Akarma. Next higher is selfish people. They will not harm others, they will do useful things only, but they are selfish. They are doing useful things because they are getting something out of it. It is a next higher level of people. Next higher is they will do selfless activity. They are not getting anything from it. There is no selflessness in the sense it is beneficial service to the society, but ego is involved. Even when you are serving the society, they are happy that, oh, because of me, so many people are benefited. They are not getting anything material out of it. It is a service oriented activity only, but it is an egoistic service oriented activity. Okay. Next higher level is egoless service oriented activity, where the person does service at the same time. He is careful that there is no ego involved. Now that is considered to be the highest. So in the society, you will find all these kinds of people. Now what happens is the moment you start working at a level which is below your evolution, there is guilt feeling. This is how you are guided. Are you behaving according to your level of evolution or not? How do I know? The moment I do that, there is guilt. For example, there is this egoistic, selfless, egoistic, service oriented person. The moment he does something harmful, there is guilt. He understands that guilt. He is able to detect that guilt. He can't do that. The moment there is actionlessness, again there is guilt. What am I doing? Wasting my time. You see, the moment he is into selfish action, it may be beneficial action, but it is selfish. Even then, there is a guilt. Right? So, it is this voice of guilt or the voice of Lord which is guiding all of us. But now, he is doing an egoistic service oriented activity. He is no more, he is not able to detect that ego. And therefore, there is no guilt there because he is not sensitive enough to detect the ego in him. So therefore, he will not be able to do egoless service-oriented activity because he is not able to detect that. Mind has not yet become pure to detect the ego in him. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? Now, an egoless service-oriented active person, the moment he may be doing wonderful work outside, seva-oriented activity, but the moment ego comes, he feels guilty. Say, what am I doing? God has given me everything, and then I am giving as though I am doing everything. So even though he is doing selfless activity, there is guilt there because ego has come. See? So now a person who is at a very low level, you give the highest knowledge, he will not be able to appreciate. So if a person feels that yes, indulgence in a socially acceptable way is okay, there is absolutely nothing wrong. In a righteous way, we can earn and we can indulge. If there is no guilt feeling in him, then leave him at his stage. So from his standpoint, there is absolutely nothing wrong. An LKG student need not study a what you call a higher grade syllabus. So if he says that what is wrong in indulgence, you try to explain. See, indulgence has got so many defects. In the beginning, it is amritam, it is end, it is visham. He may not understand that. If he's not able to understand, leave him because he is yet to evolve to that state. Don't try to convince him. If he's argumentative, if he's approaching you with a closed mind, not ready to listen, there is no open. See, always we are trying to lift him, but if you find that that person is not fit for the higher, he will again slip down to the lower. So that is why the highest advice is not for everybody. You must able to tone down the advice depending upon the level of the person. In the high jump, if you see, depending upon how high the people can jump, they decrease or increase the bar level, isn't it? For small children, the bar level is very small, so that they can jump and then feel that they are very happy, to encourage them, especially in those, what you call that, all these malls, etc., where they have so many kinds of um, Disneyland like games. So there is a basketball game there. I recently went there. The basket is so big that you can easily put the ball and score points. Deliberately, they have made the basket big so that children, when they put the ball into that basket, they feel very nice. All the, the targets are very, very easily achievable. With the ball, you have to throw and then knock down the puppet and all that. It's very easy. So, what I'm trying to say is, when you meet such people, don't keep the bar too high. So, as they evolve, Bhagwan himself will start raising the bar. That is how the cosmos is designed. So, when such people come across, don't argue with them. If they are in a position to understand, yes, good, there can be a discussion possible. But once you understand that these are little gross people, immature people, then don't waste your time, trying to convince them. You might get disappointed.
Swamiji actually answered a question that we didn't ask last week when we were discussing. Sujanaji, you might remember we were actually talking about when we are when we are engaged in a service-oriented action, ego creeps up. So ego-less service versus ego-filled service. So we were actually reflecting on how to be mindful of that and how to deal with that. So Swamiji answered the question we didn't ask. So thank you so much. And to the with respect to whosoever might say that we should live to level 8, I should, in their defense, I should say that I think what they're also trying to say is that enjoy it while it's here and then leave it. If you're doing an action, enjoy it and then put it in Lord's feet, which I guess is a really good step. But our argument is also that our senses are so always wanting to indulge that if we keep indulging them, we'll not make progress.
Correct.
That's what our argument is. But
so if you have understood that, then you will not indulge.
Right. Okay.
See, the very fact that you are enjoying it shows that you will not be able to leave it.
That answers.
Intensity of enjoyment shows intensity of attachment. And intensity of attachment shows how difficult it is for you to detach. You may say, oh, when it is there, enjoy. When it is not there, leave it. You can't leave. You observe. You will crave for it.
Thank you. I think you really answered it absolutely too. I think there are quite a few of us here who have debated on this, but I think thank you so much.
If there is somebody else who wants to add something or ask something based on this, you say that so many people were involved, we can.
Yes, Swamiji, if you don't mind, like 2 more minutes of that. So just as an addition, so I think me personally, like we rationalize it by saying that, when you accumulate things, materialism, when we accumulating new things in the house, buying more like saris personally, jewelry, the rationalization is always that, hey, we have to enjoy what we have. But I guess the point what you said, Swamiji, is we have to recognize that itself is making us in a way not able to give it up. So we are not progressing spiritually if we have that. Is that a right conclusion? Like if
See, Amma, you see, it is not necessary that if you have sense objects, you are attached to it. It is possible that you may be amidst all sense objects and still you are totally detached to it. Maybe the society, for example, in the sari case, society demands it. There are so many functions where you can't just wear one sari and go everywhere. So you need a set of saris, So nothing wrong in that. Now, whether you are attached or detached, only you will know. An external person will never know this. There are certain social customs, and you are just following certain social custom, and for that, certain sense objects are necessary. But how attached you are, only you will know. Nobody else will know. For example, King Janaka, he was a king. Every day in the court, so many things happen, dance, music, and this and that. Just by seeing externally, one may conclude wrongly that Janaka is attached to all this dance and music. But it may not be true. He may be sitting there totally detached. And that detachment only he will know. Nobody else will know. So each one we have to ask ourselves, am I truly detached? And sometimes how will we know whether we are truly detached? Once in a while come out of those sense, accompaniments, sense objects, come out of it and see how much mind is happy without all these things. In an ashram, say for example, take just 1 or 2 white clothes. So white clothes is something which nobody will know how many pairs you have. So in a very, very simple surrounding, you live and see whether you are really happy with it. If you are really happy, it simply means that there is no attachment. Fine.
Got it, Swami. That helps.
Yes.
Swamiji, a follow-up question
think
similarly, what I asked is also, I think, along those lines. Can Swamiji give some clarity about binding actions and non-binding actions? How to develop discernment so we can differentiate between them, so we can perform actions in a non-binding manner. Example, if I'm purchasing articles for my enjoyment with money earned dharmically, is that, which Swamiji kind of alluded to just now. And the second one is I'm helping others, but enjoying the recognition coming with that action. So those are binding actions, correct, Swamiji? Or how do you label them?
See, a binding action will always lead some bad taste when expectations are not met. All the negativity, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, they are all, these negative emotions are an indication that my relationship with that sense object or my relationship with that action in that situation, it was not right. This is the proof. If you are thrown out of your balance, anything, being or situation, or any action, if it is throwing you out of balance, if it is disturbing your peace, understand there is bondage involved.
That makes perfect sense, Swamiji, and I can see when I am doing binding actions, and only I know. So,
Swami,
Shivas,
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So, when we were discussing, it was not like we were still talking about enjoyment in the mode of goodness, in Satvikta. Like, when we are having food, we have salt and sweets, for accentuating the taste there. But so, can we, and then depending on the personality, some of us may be more introvert or more low key, or someone may be more exuberant. And the one who's exuberant is verbal and is sort of enjoying it, but it's not that he's attached, but is that is his personality. So that is what it was not like when we were talking about enjoyment that they're going to go out into the world and being in the mode of ignorance or passion, but still be in the mode of goodness, but still be able to some will be expressing more, and that's what they are talking as level 8 versus someone who is at level 2. So, so that is where I think they were saying that, is there a problem that if someone is more bubbly, exuberant?
Or should we just be on the equanimous, in the stable mode?
See, how stable a person is, only that person will know. Externally, a person may be highly bubbly person, and internally he can be very peaceful also. A bubbly person need not be a disturbed person. A person can crack lot of jokes and make everybody laugh, and deep down he may be absolutely peaceful. How do we know? He will not even by mistake tell something which is selfish, tell something which is hurting, or he's very careful. Alertness, even when that person is bubbly, that shows that yes, internally he is holding on to that essence.
Thank you so much.
All right, Swamiji. The next question is from Saraswati. She's available. So she had 3 questions. I'm going to ask one from each person so we can cover more of that. I'm trying to understand samadhi state. Can it be called as another mind state other than deep sleep, dream, and waking states? Is there a knowledge of being or self-awareness or I am knowledge in that state? Is samadhi the experience of an objectless mind?
Amma, as far as mind is concerned, only 3 states are available: waking, dream, and deep sleep. As far as the mind is concerned, of course, that in between state is also there, in between dream and waking and all that. We don't consider that. So, as far as mind is concerned, only 3 states are there. This samadhi state is a state where mind is absent. How did the mind become absent? See, mind always, his job is to ensure security and happiness to us. That is the job of the mind. So if my understanding about myself is I am the body, so the mind will be constantly thinking about security of the body, happiness of the body, and all that. So all the chattering of the mind is basically for security and happiness. But in a person who has gained his self, he has gained self-knowledge, then mind comes to know that, I don't have to worry because it's already there. And the moment mind comes to know that it is already there, it becomes silent. So that silent state of mind is a no mind. That state is what is called a samadhi. So it is not a state of mind actually. In a way, you can say it is a state of mind in the sense mind is silent. But an absent mind is a no mind. So samadhi is actually a state which is a state of no mind. Now you may say that how are we then knowing it? Knowing is a property of consciousness. It is not the property of mind. Mind has only borrowed it from consciousness. So the real knower is consciousness. To know consciousness by itself, for consciousness to know itself, no mind is necessary. So therefore, it is a mindless knowing.
So is it just reflected consciousness at that point then if the
Even to
mind
reflect, there is a mind needed.
Yeah. Okay.
For consciousness to know, no reflecting medium is necessary. For sun to shine, mirror is not necessary. It knows chit is its property. Sat chit. Chit means knowing. Effortless knowing, instrument-free knowing, absolute knowing, spontaneous knowing. Knowing is its nature. Not knowing is impossible for consciousness.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Swamiji, a follow-up on that same concept, just quickly.
Mm.
So in deep sleep also, our mind falls completely off. And then at that point, we know that we had a deep sleep because of that existence of the knowing consciousness, right, Swamiji? The consciousness will, no?
See, in deep sleep, we are not aware that we are bliss.
Mm-hmm.
See, who is the knower ultimately? It is the ego. In our ignorance, the knower is the ego. In deep sleep, what happens is, ego is in its unmanifest state. We don't say ego is absent. Ego is in its unmanifest state. So that unmanifest ego experiences that silence of the mind. There is an ego who is experiencing this. So it is the experience of the ego only. Ego is there means what? There is no identification with consciousness. As long as you don't consciously identify with consciousness, you cannot consciously experience the bliss of consciousness.
So even
Did you
in deep
understand?
sleep, because ego is still present, whatever we are experiencing is not that ultimate bliss. It's only when ego completely dissolves, even from the rudiment, like the seed state, That's in samadhi, the the self-realized person is able to experience the actual bliss, whereas
Yes.
or just ignorant, we are experiencing. Okay,
Yes.
Swamiji,
What
that
is
makes it
the
clear.
proof that ego is unmanifest in the deep sleep? What is the proof? Why can't we say that ego is not there?
Because we don't know at that time, only after we wake up, when it manifests,
So
then we know
this
we
is the
had
proof.
these.
When somebody wakes us up, we wake up. Suppose ego is absolutely absent, then nobody will wake up. The very fact that somebody is capable of waking us up shows that ego is there in its unmanifest form. If it is absolutely non-existent, even if somebody shakes, ego should not wake up because he's not there. Then who wakes? So therefore, he's there just like a shop owner. He is there till 8 p.m. Then he goes back home. Only that gatekeeper or watchman is there in the night in his shop. At that time, we have to say the shop owner is not non-existent. He is only unmanifest. Meaning, if something happens to a shop, he will come running. Isn't it? The watchman will call him. Hey, shop is on fire. Then immediately he will come running. So in the night, shop owner is just unmanifest. He's not absent. I'm just trying to. So in the same way, in deep sleep, ego is there in its unmanifest state. It is this unmanifest ego which is experiencing the bliss in its unmanifest state. That's why in deep sleep, ego is not aware. Because the happiness experience is happening in unmanifest state. Experiencer is there, ego is there. Otherwise, we'll get up and we say that I don't know, I have not experienced. We say that yes, I experienced happiness after waking up. In deep sleep, I did experience, but I'm not able to recollect it because that experience was happening in my unmanifest state.
Swamiji, can I ask? So
Swamiji.
does that imply then that someone who is in samadhi but living doesn't interact with other people then? Because there's still some ego required in order to interact with another individual.
See, as long as the person is living in the body, mind is there. We'll never call it samadhi and all that. Samadhi is when completely he loses body consciousness, especially nirvikalpa samadhi. As long as that jiva, that Mahatma is living in the body, interacting with the world, mind is there. But that mind never creates a problem because it is only an objective mind, it is not a subjective mind. Subjective mind means mind with likes and dislikes. Objective mind means mind which shows things, beings, and situations. That mind is never a problem. A mind which is showing us things, beings, and situations is never a problem. The problem is the mind which colors the things, beings, and situations. That coloring has gone. He sees things as it is. So as long as prarabdha karma is there, Mahatma's mind will continue, his body also will continue.
Archana has a question. Go ahead, Archana.
Swamiji, your last statement takes me back to the earlier question of enjoyment or not. So Swamiji just mentioned about likes and dislikes. And for anyone to enjoy, there has to be some kind of raga, some kind of likes.
Correct.
Or say, I don't enjoy, or to not enjoy, or even say, I enjoy this, but that I don't care. I don't hate it, but I don't care. Even then, there is that dvanda, right? There is that raga, dvesha.
Yes.
So for anyone to get close to that state of what you were describing, objective mind, subjective mind, all those, like in the verse, they say, na dveshti na kankshti. So all those have to drop, right? If like you can't be enjoying and still be saying that I am not engaged. It like those two things cannot stay together, right?
You see, Even in Mahatmas, we find preferences. For example, a North Indian Mahatma will prefer chapati, roti. A South Indian Mahatma will prefer sambar, rice, and all that. But that liking cannot be called as bondage, because any moment they are able to drop it easily. See, as long as you are in the world, you just cannot drop likes and dislikes absolutely. Even in the case of a Mahatma, because the mind has certain samskaras, it will behave. But the greatness of Mahatma is he is able to drop at will. Hmm. How easily are you able to drop your likes and dislikes? That is also a very important question.
Right.
Hmm.
So you had said earlier, Swamiji had said earlier that only one person knows
Yes,
inside where they
yes,
are, right?
yes.
So I think it's Mahatmas are rare, and they are somebody we should emulate, we should look up to. And but at least where I feel, where I am in my sadhana, I should not get deluded in thinking that, oh, I can drop, I will be able to drop it when I want to. That detachment has not come yet. So person like a sadhak like me should be careful in engaging
See,
with things with the word, right?
as long as your devotion for God has not become truly intense, your likes and dislikes, dropping your likes and dislikes cannot be trusted. Without devotion for God, nobody can win over likes and dislikes.
Mm,
See, the mind has something higher, therefore it is dropping the lower, isn't it?
true.
If I have not the higher, and if I say that no, no, I'll drop the lower, no,
Mm,
then that dropping cannot be trusted.
thank you. Yeah.
So the more intensely you gain the higher, more easily you drop the lower.
Mm,
So always our ability to drop the lower should be compared with how much, with what strength are we holding on to the higher.
this is reminding me of satsang that Swamiji did in Pittsburgh on Ramana Maharshi's,
Hmm.
where Swamiji said that hold on to the higher,
Yes,
the lower will drop.
yes. So
But
all the Mahatmas, they emphasis on holding on to the higher, not much on dropping the lower.
mm,
Many times we are so caught up in dropping the lower that instead of dropping, we are holding on to it more intensely.
Thank you, Swamiji. The next question is by Vishal and Patel. Is Vishal here?
Hari Om,
Is
Swami.
Vishal?
I'm here.
yeah.
Oh, okay. His question, what are the characteristics of a close friend should have? That's question number one. And second question is, Swamiji, do you have any personal favorite sacred places of pilgrimage in India? The
Okay.
two of the questions.
So the first one, who is a best friend? So there is a beautiful verse by Bhartrhari. It says, Papan nivareti yo jayate hitaya guhyam cha guhati gunan prakati karoti आपद्गतं न जहाति ददाति काले सन्मित्र लक्षणमिदं प्रवदन्ति सन्तः सन्मित्र लक्षणम idam pravadanti santah. The wise people say this is the characteristic of a sanmitra, a good friend. What are they? Number one, papat nivarayati. So when you are going to do some sin, he will prevent you from doing that sin. He will force you not to commit that sin. Yojayate hitaya, and he will persuade you to do the good things. He will discourage you from doing bad things. He will force you to do good things. Encourage you to do good things. Papa nivareti yojayate hitaya. Guhyam cha guhati. We all have some secret filthy, filthy secrets, which I don't want others to know. All my weakness, defects, shortcomings, addictions. Guhyam cha guhati. This good friend, he knows everything, but he will not tell anybody. He keeps it as a secret. Guhyam cha guhati, gunan prakati karoti. And all those virtues which I have, he will tell everybody. So he will introduce me, describing my goodness, my virtues, my values. Guhyam cha guhati, gunan prakati karoti. Apadgatam najahati. When I am in real trouble, he will never leave me. Dadati kale, whatever I need at that time of tragedy, whatever I need, he gives. So this is the lakshana of a good friend. So if you see this lakshana, we find that Bhagavan is our best friend. Because as far as he is concerned, all these are absolutely applicable. So hold on to God. Suhridam sarvabhutanam jnatva mam shanti mrichyati. Bhagavan says in 5th chapter, I am the friend of all. Knowing me, you gain ultimate peace. So this answers the first question. Is it okay, Vishalji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
What is the next question? What is the most
personal favorite sacred places of pilgrimage in India, Swamiji?
You see, I'll tell you one thing. The moment you have some favorite place, then you have to compromise with your higher values. Then you get addicted to that place. Then you will have to maybe disobey your higher authorities. Yes or no? So never have any personal likes or dislike with respect to this. In fact, there is one place which I love, and that in Atma Bodha it is called as Atma Tirtham. Atma Tirtha means the self. Except this, any other sacred place is going to create a problem. You see, when I was coming to America, somebody from here, Chicago, said, Swamiji, we'll ask Rupanji, will you please come? Will you please come to India? We'll request and then we'll get your transfer, everything. I said, no, I am very happy here. But then when Swarupanji said, no, you have to go, then I had no problem in going. But suppose I was attached to all these kind of things, Tirtham, then I'll be in trouble. Yes or no?
Yes.
So it's always better not to get attached to anything, being or situation, even if it is a Tirtha Kshetra. Anything external, addiction to it, you are going to have problem. It can be a temple, it can be a person, it can be a place, anything other. That is why in Bible it is said, I am a jealous God. God is saying, I am a jealous God. I don't like my children loving anything other than me. You see. So I'm very happy that my Tirtha Kshetram is Atma Tirtham. Because that is always with me. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to spend any money. It is always with me. So that's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya calls this self as the Atma Tirtha, the most sacred place, the most auspicious pilgrim center.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful answer, Swamiji. Thank you so much.
Okay, Swamiji, the next question is by Renukananda ji. Renukananda ji, are you available?
Yes, Hari Om.
Okay,
Swamiji.
Hari Om. So his question is, wanted to understand if there is any role of Atman in the actions performed by the Jiva. If the answer is no and the Atman is only a silent observer and Jiva performs actions based on the Prarabdha Sanchita Karma, then where will the spark come to get out of this samsara?
Where are you? Whose question is it?
Renukananda ji, or is your video on?
Yeah, I turned it on.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yes. Now, what is that question, Amma? I think it was not there in that list, right?
Oh, yes, Swamiji. It came later, so that's why.
So, what is the question? I have to think of it. What is
Let
that?
me read it again, Swamiji. Wanted to understand if there is any role of Atman in the actions performed by the Jiva. If the answer is no and the Atman is only a silent observer and Jiva performs actions based on Prarabdha and Sanchita Karma, then where will the spark come to get out of this samsara?
See, this pure consciousness has to be understood in 3 different states. Pure consciousness from absolute state, from its standpoint, there is no creation, there is no jiva, there is no jagat, there is only that reality. We call it Nirguna Brahman. Okay, that is Nirguna Brahman. So from its standpoint, nothing is there. Only that is there. Then the second is consciousness identified with the totality. Then we call it Saguna Brahman. You can call it Ishvara, Paramatma, etc. He is the one who gives us karma phalas, etc. God, who sees all our actions, who gives results based on our actions. So we can call it Saguna Brahman. So that is consciousness identified with the totality. Now, consciousness identified with the BMI, that is what is called as Jivatma. Okay, that is what we all are. So it is the same consciousness. Consciousness in its own absolute state, it is Nirguna Brahman. Consciousness identified with the totality, it is Saguna Brahman. Consciousness identified with the body is Jiva. Now, what is the role of Jiva? Jiva does all actions. And the results are given by Paramatma, Saguna Brahman. Now, if I am performing action in tune with the Lord, pleasing the Lord, not based on my likes and dislikes. God, you like this, therefore I am doing this. You don't like this, therefore I will not do it. My actions are not based on my likes and dislikes. My actions are based on what pleases God. So how do I know? Any action which I do, if it displeases God, there is a guilt feeling. Guilt is the indication that my God is not happy with me. So when I am performing action in tune with the divine, that action doesn't belong to me, that action belongs to God. In such a situation, there is no karma phala for me because I am just an instrument of God. God, you asked me to do this, therefore I am doing it. Then I become an instrument. So karma phala cannot come to the instrument. It can go only to the doer of the karma. But suppose God is asking me to do something and I am not doing it, I am doing it based on my likes and dislikes, then that karma is my karma, the karma of the ego. I cannot say that God, it is your karma. No. I disobeyed him and did something. I did not listen to him, did something. Then that action is my action. For that, we have to go through karma. So therefore, how to escape this bondage? Just be obedient to God. That is the whole of karma yoga. Performing action as a worship of the Lord. Then that karma is not your karma. Then what happens? You become free from all karma bandhana. Renuji, did I answer?
Absolutely, Swamiji. Thank you so much.
Okay, fine.
Okay, Swamiji. The next question is from, is Hem Sharma available? Hari Om? Okay, is Prithvi Segal available? Okay, Swamiji, then I'll go to Usha Karumadi. Usha, are you there?
Yeah, Hari Om. Hari Om, Swamiji.
Okay.
Yes.
Ushaji's question is, how can I stay fully committed while maintaining emotional detachment from the outcome or from a situation or a problem?
How can I remain?
Stay fully
detached.
committed to an action, and at the same time have that emotional detachment from the outcome or from a situation or a problem.
So, first of all, we should be clear, why am I performing action? What is the purpose of my performing action? If my action is for the result, then you can never be detached. Then you will always find that commitment equal to getting affected by the result. You are extremely committed, and when the results are not according to your this thing, then you get totally disturbed. That is because you are performing all action for the result. But suppose you are saying, no, no, I am performing action to please my God. Then you will find that there is extreme commitment and at the same time there is detachment, because your goal is not getting the result, your goal is pleasing the Lord. Now, pleasing the Lord, is it certain or uncertain?
Certain,
Certain, it's very
Swamiji.
easy. Yes, because if you are walking the righteous path, then pleasing the Lord is easy. It is not uncertain. Whereas the result of the world is always uncertain. There is no guarantee you will get what you want. So therefore, there is commitment also, there is detachment also. Detaching from the result is possible only when you attach to God. God, I want you. I am performing action for you. I want you to be pleased. I want my relationship with you to be strong. My devotion for you should increase. This action is only a means to achieve all this. The purpose of action is not some result. Purpose of action is you must be happy with me. I must want to feel your presence very intimately. So when this goal becomes very clear, then you will find that there is commitment also. You are doing your job as best as you can. At the same time, you are not affected by the result also, because your goal is God, not the world. Is it clear, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji. But I also have, I just have another quick question. So sometimes, is it okay if the problem or I understand it's not, it's problem because of my mind. But if I think there is a situation where I feel sometimes I have to do more, but I am not able to do more, is it okay to put the situation and look up to God, or to give me answers, or to give me solutions to this?
Of course. Of course. You should say, Bhagavan, I am your instrument. I am not able to solve the problem. So therefore, you have to empower me. What is wrong? Unless you empower me, I will not be able to do what the task which you have given me. You have given me a responsibility. So therefore, it is your responsibility to empower me to fulfill that. So suppose you are not empowered and the task income, you have no guilt or regret, because fine, Bhagavan, whatever you have given, I have used. This is my capacity. This is all what I can do. There is no guilt. There is no regret. There is no disturbance. You know that if God wants me to do this, He will give me whatever is necessary, whether it is resources, strength, talent, money. If He's not giving it, it simply means that this is all what He expects from you. In both ways, you have no problem. This is called a surrender. But suppose if there is some kind of regret, oh, I should have done this much, but I'm not able to do, then know for sure you are attached to the result and not to God.
Yes. What sadhana I can do to develop that constant surrender to Bhagwan? Because it's very wavering, Some days I feel Bhagwan is there and so great. Some days, I don't, it's always wavering. So it is, when I have the constant surrender attitude, then I won't feel anything to be a problem at all.
See, are you aware of those moments where the surrender is lacking?
Yes.
First step is being consciously aware of those moments. Are you aware of those moments where surrender is there?
Yes. Yeah.
So first of all, pay attention to those moments. Lack of surrender moments and full of surrender moments. And then comes a naturally an intense desire in the mind that surrender should be more complete. You see, this desire will come. See, yesterday the surrender was so intense. Today the surrender is not there. Oh God, please give me that more and more devotion, more and more surrender. Once you start desiring anything intensely, it will it will happen. Whatever you intensely desire with a conscious mind, it is going to happen. So the first step is being aware those moments where there is lack of surrender and being painfully aware. You understand? Chah, that surrender is not there. See, now I am doing it only for the result. See, now the mind is not at all in God. See, now I am getting tossed up and down by thinking about the result. First, be painfully aware of these moments. Then naturally you will desire for the other one, for true surrender. And when you desire, it will definitely happen over a period of time.
Thank you so much.
Hariom Swamiji. So we are at 9:33. There are Saraswati has 2 more questions and Prithviji has 1 more extra question. Haim, I see Haim name here. Are you able to, are you hearing us, Haim Sharma?
Hari Om, I am hearing you now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask your question, okay? Swamiji, Haim Sharma's question is how to raise kids in our Hindu household right in America. What are the do's and don't do's?
Hemji, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Swamiji.
You are not in a presentable form. Video is off.
I am here.
You are here? Yes. So the question is how to raise children. You see, whether it is America, India, or any country, the do's and don'ts are same everywhere. And what are the do's? Follow the values of life. Humility, devotion, surrender, kindness, compassion. These values are valued everywhere, irrespective of the country. Everywhere. And there are some don'ts also. What is that? Anger, ego, being stubborn. These are disliked everywhere. So it doesn't matter whether you are in America or India. Train your kid in these values, that child will be happy everywhere, even when he grows. That's all we need to do.
Thank you.
See, the whole discussion is not political. You see, in America, you should drive towards your right. In India, you drive towards your left. No such things are there as far as spirituality is concerned. If truth is valued everywhere. So that's all we have to focus upon. The eternal values of life. Let us cultivate and let us inspire our children to gain these values. Clear?
Perfect. Thank you.
You want to see something cool?
I can ask the other 2 questions or I could save them for our next session, which means I'm asking Swamiji for 1 more session later.
Amma, let us finish whatever is there.
Oh, should I ask? Okay.
Yeah, finish off everything.
Okay, so the next question by Prithviji. Prithviji, are you still here?
Prithviji was never there.
Never there. Okay. Then I'll ask Saraswati's questions. Saraswati had another question here. This one. So is the witness consciousness... Oh, so if the witness consciousness witnesses everything in the mind without judging, then who is the voice in my head commanding me to stop sometimes? Is the conscience that we speak of just another part of the mind with higher or positive values?
Yes. It is the voice of intellect. And this voice, as the intellect becomes purer and purer, this voice of intellect becomes voice of God, which we call as Saguna Brahman. As the intellect becomes pure, it becomes a voice of conscience, voice of God.
So does it become purer and purer based on our Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana that we keep doing?
Based on your righteous living.
Righteous.
Whatever I understand to be right, I have to just live it. So in that there is a struggle, because I have to break all my habits, my likes and dislikes. I will have to work against my likes and dislikes. So in that working against likes and dislikes, there is friction, there is struggle. And in this struggle, the intellect becomes more and more bright and brilliant. Mind becomes more and more purified. So in that purified state, you see certain things which you were not seeing earlier. So then there is a higher responsibility put upon you to live those higher values, which now you are able to see. So again, every time the intellect is pure, it starts seeing something far, Is that goal setting goes on getting updated. Hmm? Level 8 becomes level 9. Level 9 becomes level 10. And every time you see a higher goal, then the earlier which you thought was right is no more right now. It is wrong now. Remember those levels which I had given. Once upon a time, service-oriented activity alone, I thought that was ultimate. Then later on, I came to know, no, service-oriented activity also can become egoistic activity. So a new level is set now for me. Now I have to do service-oriented activity without ego. So that pure intellect has given a new goal to be achieved. You see? So this is the way slowly, slowly that intellect guides us and takes us towards God.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Swamiji, Saraswati is another question here.
Ah.
We are always looking for some benefit from our actions. Even in pursuing spirituality, we are constantly looking for signs of progress, such as peaceful or cheerful mind or wisdom. We expect results from our efforts. In the pursuit of Brahmagnana, is this wrong?
Absolutely not wrong. Amma, whenever we say karma phala, result, we are talking of material result. That is criticized. What is being criticized is looking for material results. So, karmanyavadhikarasya ma phaleshu, when it is said, it is always about the material result which is being said, not about the internal results. Of course, there has to be some inspiration to do anything, isn't it? And what is our inspiration? The only inspiration is peace of mind, devotion for God, clarity in thinking, all these kinds. So the more and more I start following this path, I find greater and greater peace, and this peace becomes an inspiration to put forth more effort. So absolutely no wrong in keeping all these things as goals.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Oh, someone has a follow-up. Hold on. Vishal Patel has a
Vishalji
question,
can come.
Swami.
Vishalji can ask question.
Hari Om.
Vishal, do you want to ask
Yes.
your question or you want me to read it? He put it in the chat box. So
Okay, Vishalji can ask.
yeah.
Okay. So Swamiji, just to follow up on Hem Sharma's question about do's and don'ts with children. So we're just kind of preparing ourselves for the future, and our kids are still 8 and 6, but we perceive that they're going to be in a place where, they're trying to imitate their friends, and if most of their friends have phones, which might not be appropriate for their age because that takes them away from their growth, or that puts them into bad habits which are not going to be good for them.
Yes.
How do we explain it to the children without them taking it negatively and becoming angry with us or becoming distant to us? Because as a parent, you always want to be a friend to your kids, but then you end up becoming somebody who they dislike.
Correct. You see, as much as possible, we must try to give them experiential lessons. So when I'm saying my child that, see, don't use phone, it is not good for you. So naturally, the child will say, in what way it is not good? I can learn so many things, this and that, etc. So then what you have to do is, give them this experiential knowledge. Let's, for example, say allow the child to watch a movie or whatever for 2 hours, 3 hours. After watching the movie, now ask him to sit and meditate. Ask him to close his eyes for 5 to 10 minutes. And then let him see what happens in the mind. So when you are closing your eyes, you will always find that all whatever you have seen starts coming in flashes. The mind is extremely disturbed. There is tiredness, there is exhaustion, all these things you experience. So let the child experience this. So how much mind is disturbed when you are watching something? So the state of mind when the mind meditates, and the state of mind when it is exposed to all the social media, two different state of minds. Let the child compare which is more peaceful. So we'll always find that social media disturbs the mind, meditation, etc. So this is how we have to convince the child why this is not good. So unless you have done it, you will not be able to tell this. So the first responsibility is parents have to try it on oneself. Many times what we see is parents are addicted to all these things and they tell children not to do. It doesn't work that way. First, you have to test it on yourself. See the state of the mind when it is exposed to all these kinds of movies and this and that. See the state of the mind when it is meditative. Compare the two states of mind. You will always find that when you are exposed to too much of social media, too much of movies and this and that, mind becomes a chattering mind. Mind becomes a disturbed mind. Mind becomes an extroverted mind. Remember, the more and more mind goes out, you become weak. The more and more the mind goes in, you become strong. Why is it so? It is so because God is a self in us. So, to the extent your mind is within you, to that extent, mind behaves well. It is disciplined, it is obedient. And I feel that strength, I feel that integrity with a peaceful mind. But the moment I train my mind in all kinds of chattering, all kinds of noise, that mind is a totally distracted mind. And then I suffer moment to moment because actually my happiness is deeply connected with my mind only. If the mind is peaceful, I am peaceful. If the mind is disturbed, I am disturbed. So the quality of the mind is what we enjoy every moment, good or bad. So all these things first you have to apply on yourself, you have to practice on yourself. Then when you tell your child, hey, don't do it, it is not good, then those words will carry a special power. You are able to follow what I'm saying?
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you for a practical answer. I think if you experience it, then you get the true answer, and you don't have any. You understand it, and you don't make it into an argument.
Yes, yes. It should be an experiential answer. Test for yourself. When you're doing this, you're miserable. When you're doing that, you are happy. Now choose that way.
Swamiji, I have a follow-up question to this, not for children, but for adults. Personally, in my own experience, I shy away from watching any kind of horror or scary movies. And all my life after marriage, I've been made fun of for this fact that I'm somehow not able to tolerate this. You're the perfect forum for us to ask the question is that weakness in me that I'm not able to handle this, or is that greatness of the others around me that they're able to handle? Which one is? I mean, this again, by the way, in terms of again coming back to spiritual pursuits, not that I'm not watching the movie, but I'm all meditating and I've reached nothing like that. But staying away from that, is that a step in the right direction, or am I regressing because of that?
Can I add to that Sujanji's question, Swamiji?
Yes, Amma.
Back in the times, I could sit, but now reflexively, if I happen to be in a movie or show that's very gory and blood, I literally have to hide. I can't see it.
Yes.
I've heard the same argument, sort of. So thank you for asking that, Sujanji.
Amma, the whole thing is, being insensitive, a person may be able to enjoy horror movie. Just because a person is enjoying horror movie doesn't mean that that person is very strong. In fact, according to spirituality, that person is insensitive. Just like, a smoker, first time when you smoke, there is cough. But after some time, there is no cough at all. That doesn't mean that you have become strong. The system has become insensitive now. It is not a good news. It is a bad news. Now it has stopped giving warning signal. In the same way, insensitive minds don't feel all horror. It is not that, nothing is happening to them. No, they are not able to detect the after effects, the bad consequences of seeing all this movie. They are not able to detect. As you progress spiritually, the mind becomes very, very sensitive. So anything negative, you are able to detect the negative influence of that negative thing. The disturbance. Who will understand the disturbance of the mind? Only one who has a peaceful mind. The person who is already disturbed, he is sitting on 100 units of disturbance. Even if it becomes 110 units of disturbance, he will not be able to detect it. But a person who is experiencing, say, 100 units of peace, for him, when that 100 units become 10 units, he is miserable. So this is what happens when you evolve spiritually. Mind becomes more and more sensitive, more and more sensitive. And when mind becomes more and more sensitive, anything negative affects the mind. Because you become tender, you become soft. And therefore, that is a good news. So then you are able to correct yourself at a very early stage. The moment mind is disturbed, immediately you withdraw. Kurmongani vasarvashah. Like the turtle, how easily it withdraws. It understands, oh, this is danger. I have to be careful. Bhadram karne bhi shrunuyama, bhadram pashyemakshabiryajatraha. May I see only auspicious things? May I hear only auspicious? The moment there is something inauspicious, you immediately shut off. That is good. I don't want to be an insensitive fellow who says, no, I am not affected. It is not that he is not affected. He is affected, but he is not aware that he is affected. There is a difference. Amma, did I answer?
You answered, Swamiji. You made me happy and lot of people unhappy.
But also, Swamiji, what you said goes with the psychology that's showing that when children play those video games where there is violence and they're actually actively engaged with it, they become numb. So when they are in that situation, they don't feel they don't have sensitiveness to the trauma. So it goes very well. Thank you. That was.
Yes, these are the children who do all kinds of crimes and all that. They have trained their mind through all this. And when a real crime happens, nothing happens to them because now the mind has become really insensitive, dumb.
Thank you. Hariom Swamiji, thank you so much. It was such a wonderful session. And of course, you will get another request from me very soon. And thank you all for joining. Satish just posted a link. Obviously, if you want, you can use that link to offer Guru Dakshina for Swamiji.
And we also want to remind everyone, Swamiji is coming for a whole week in October, so to Pittsburgh. So this will be not a virtual session, but an actual physical face-to-face session with Swamiji. So please don't miss that. It's October 7th through 13th. We'll announce the details of that coming soon, but please mark those dates on your calendar.
And Swamiji will meet you in person at Mahasamadhi camp.
Yes, Amma.
Can Swamiji do a concluding prayer and then?
Okay, Amma. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om everyone.
Hari Om Swamiji.